Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to go over using the temperature analysis app. I'm first going to show you how to open the app. I'm then going to show you how to insert your variables and run the app. I'm going to go over what the output should look like, and then lastly I'm going to go over what to do if the app crashes. So to open the app, we just need to go to the folder where the app lives, and double click on the app.r file. This should open up an RStudio window. And just a note here, if you haven't already, you'll need to install the required packages for this app. That's covered in my previous video, and it's also in the instruction document that accompanies this app, as well as the Getting Started document. So to open the app, we simply just hit the Run App button here at the top, and the app will open in a separate window. Now, depending on the size of this window on your computer, it will either look like this, or there's a slightly larger version where all of the input buttons are just on the side there. So the first thing we're going to do is choose a CSV file to upload onto the app. So this has to be a data stream or WQX formatted CSV file containing only your temperature logger data. This can be downloaded directly from the data stream website, or you might have this document in your files already. I've sort of created some fake data just to use for this presentation. So once that little blue bar has filled up, the upload's complete. And you'll notice below the upload bar there, the monitoring locations have been auto-populated, and these are just the locations from the dataset that's been uploaded. Please note that for larger datasets, this may take a few minutes. You'll see a loading message if you scroll down to the bottom here. It should pop up when it's loading. Or if your window looks like the other one, where it's kind of smushed to the side there, the loading message will just pop up here. And so for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to select all of the locations below. You could run this for just one location or a combination of different locations. Just whatever one is checked here will be included in the analysis. And you'll also notice that once that upload was complete, the locations here auto-populated, as well as the dates here. So this date is just the minimum value in the data set, and this one is the maximum value in the data set. You can also change those to include whatever dates you want. Say you only want to run the analysis for 2017, you would just set that for January 1st, 2017 to December 31st, 2017, for example. And so if you read the accompanying instruction document, you'll notice that all the analyses in this app are kind of divided into sections. And so to include each type of analysis in the app, you just need to check the include box here. And again, in the instruction document, these kind of default values are explained, just kind of where they're coming from and what specifically the analysis does. So I'd encourage you, if you haven't already, to take a read through of that document. So I'm just going to check to include all of these for the purposes of this demonstration. And just also the last one here just simply pulls out any observation above a certain temperature value. There's no specific guidelines for this. Just if you're curious about how many events are above a certain temperature. So I'm just going to put some random values into here. And then to run the app, I'm just going to hit the run button at the bottom here. And just please note, there's also a note here, for larger files, this might take anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes. So while you run the app, notice if you scroll down, there's a loading message. This just means that it's running. And again, if your screen looks a little bit differently, if you scroll all the way up to the top there, the same loading message will be there. And so while this app is loading, don't close the R session, just let it do its thing. And another message should pop up when it's done. So as you can see, this green message has popped up. It's telling us that it's done and that the files can be found in this folder. This should just be the folder where the app lives. And also if your app is the larger version there, it's just all depending on the size of your window. If you scroll down to the bottom where that loading message was, you should get the done message there. So I'm just going to go back to that folder where I opened the app.r file. And you'll see that there's sort of 3 output files here. And just so you know, each time you run the code, if these files are in the temperature analysis folder, they will be overwritten. So it's a good idea if you're running it for multiple different location combinations or dates or whatever to just save these files somewhere else. So the first one is just a plot of every single temperature observation. You'll see that these lines here, the red one and the pinkish one, are the maximum daily threshold and the minimum daily threshold, respectively. The next sort of visual output is this maps.pdf file. So this is just a nice way to kind of spatially visualize your data. Unfortunately, the extents are limited, so just kind of the field you can see of the map. If you have a lot of locations and there's kind of clusters, you might just want to limit your analysis to those clusters to get kind of like a higher, more zoomed in picture of them. And lastly, there's this output CSV file. So this is all of the results of the analysis in tabular form. So up here, the overview, this is just some general statistics for every single temperature observation in the dataset for each year. And below that, we find the results from the analysis. So each result kind of has two parts to it. There's this first summary table here, and then a more detailed account of every single event that was analyzed. So here, this was the events where the daily maximum temperature was above 23 degrees Celsius for 2 days or more. So we can see in the summary table that at location 1 in 2017, there were 6 events. You can see that the average duration of those events were 4.5 days, and that the average maximum temperature during those events was 24.25 degrees Celsius. And if you go to the bottom here, we can see that those 6 events from 2017 are right here. You can see the specific start and end date of each day, or each period of days where the maximum temperature was above that limit. You can see the duration here in days and the average temperature during that period. I also want to go over quickly what happens when the app crashes. So I'm just going to make the app crash here by trying to run it without uploading a CSV file. So when I click run here, something will go wrong, and the app will just close. And so while the app is closed, R is actually still running in the background. So in order to stop R from running, we're just going to hit this little stop sign here. And just to note that anytime R is running, the stop sign appears. So we're just going to stop it there. And here we can see the warning message about why it crashed. Sometimes these might be a bit cryptic, but here, it's kind of straightforward. There was an error in reading the file. It must be a character string or connection. It wasn't a character string because there was nothing there. And just so you know, you do have to stop R from running before you're able to reopen the app. If you try to reopen the app while R is still running, some funky things might happen. So it's just a good idea to, to stop the R session and then run the app just by clicking the same button as we did before. And that's it. I hope that this video was useful, and if you need more information, please check out the accompanying instructions document. Thank you very much.